What are we looking for? Dogs.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Bird, and we back on Bird's Eye View with it. Like always, appreciate the love and support. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Stop what you're doing, smash the like button, smash subscribe button, hop in the comment section, comment whatever you want. Of course, we dropping daily bangers day by day. You know, we got news of the day coming out of Colorado, and we're gonna jump right into it, dog. So, of course, we back with another recap with this Colorado football program. As always, shout out Well Off Media, Reach the People Media, the pregame show, for providing us phenomenal footage each and every day, dog. As you all know, man, first day of summer, the boys are back in town, dog. What the song said, the boys are back in town. Hey, look, dog, it's refreshing to see the team back together, putting in work, man. Obviously, the grind really starts now. There's a lot of competition at all positions, really, within this Colorado football program, especially at the wide receiver and DB position, right? We all know, we are loaded at wide receiver, dog. You think Omarion Miller, Draylen Miller, right? Joseph Williams, Hakeem Williams, Sincere Brown, Isaiah Hart, who can really shock some people. Quanell Farrakhan, right? True freshman, another true freshman with Quentin Gibson, right? We still got Timmons, Jack Costera, right? The transfer wide receiver that we just brought in. It's funny, not even really funny, but it's really exciting to see and to know that we put the most wide receivers in the draft this past season, and to think that we still have this many riches at wide receiver. Obviously, some coming back from last year, obviously some true freshmen that we brought in, and transfer guys, right? So, definitely be excited. The wide receiver room is not going to drop off, and it's scary to think about that. Like I said, when we had 3 wide receivers get drafted, it's scary to think that this wide receiver room really is not going to fall off in this. We got some really talented guys at wide receiver with size, speed, and the ability to get open. It's going to be fun to watch our offense continue to grow. DB, right? We got some guys at DB. We're loaded, corner and safety, right? You think right at corner, you're looking at DJ McKinney, who's a pro, right? I think Preston Hodge is also a pro. You got R.J. Johnson, who was a spring standout without question. Can't wait to see him ball out, right? Just brought in Tariqus Davis out of Wyoming, right? Physical ass corner that can definitely make some plays. Tion Parks, right? Out of Illinois State. He's another corner that we also brought in, right? Makari Vickers, right? We also brought him in from Oklahoma, right? I know he's had some health concerns. Definitely praying for his ability to come back, come back strong, right? Noah King. Don't forget about the 4-star in the 2025 class, committed to K-State, spent the spring there, and then obviously transferred into this Colorado football program. He was the #1 cornerback in the state of Ohio in that class, right? And then you talk about safeties. Carter Stockmeyer, right? Taufik Bayer, who was a spring standout as well. Don't forget about Terrence Love from Auburn that's coming in, right? John Slaughter from Tennessee that'll be in, right? Both of those guys are, 6'2" and over 200 pounds, right? We got a true freshman in TJ Branch Jr., 6'3" true freshman. Very bright future. Got an interception in the spring game. Ben Finisef, right? Love his energy, dog. Can't leave my dog Ben out, man. Definitely love his energy. It's competition through and through. When you talking about wide receiver and DB, we are loaded at those two positions. But I also love where we are on the offensive line position as well, too. And I know a lot of people are going to question our offensive line, as they always have, right? You can't really be mad at them for that. But I really, really like the unit, the guys that we've brought in. Of course, they got to gel as a cohesive unit. It's going to be important that does happen, right? But, we got a first-round guy in Jordan Seaton, and he just seems to just keep getting better and better by the day, it seems like, right? Obviously, we brought in Cooper Lovelace here recently, right? Got Andre Roy, right, from Maryland. that's another, big body offensive lineman. Larry Johnson, right, 6'7", over 340 pounds out of Tennessee that we brought in, right? You got Xavier Hill, who I believe is going to be a starter. Of course, I'm going to mention, I'm going to bring that video out who I think my projected starters are. Of course, I'm going to bring that video to you guys every year. So I'm not going to get too deep into what I think the starters are going to be. But Xavier Hill is a starter, right? The interior offensive lineman out of Memphis, that's a starter. So is Zion Chrysler, right? Zion Chrysler is a starter, right? That we got out of Illinois, right? You also got Monotemani, right, from Ole Miss. You got Zarian McGill, who, expects to be the starting center, right, out of La Tech. I really love his game as well, too. I believe he's a starter also. I don't want to give away all my starters, but you're kind of picking up what I'm putting down here, right? We got Aki coming out of, Texas A&M. We brought some guys in, man, that can, really help this offensive line improve and get better. And I just named some guys off the top of my head, right? I didn't even name all the guys, right? So, that battle on the offensive line is definitely going to be a battle, right? It's going to be competition everywhere. Obviously, we had true freshmen that came in as well that's going to be looking to compete, to try to do all they can to get on the field. But, it's going to be a group, in my opinion, that's going to be led by upperclassmen, which that's normally how it goes. And, I'm looking forward to seeing them protect whoever our QB1 is going to be, right? We got a battle at QB1. Caden Salter, Julian Lewis, right? It's been a battle all spring. A lot of us expect, right, Caden Salter to be that QB1, and then obviously, Julian Lewis to be able to, learn under him and kind of grow and develop a little bit more. But I mean, we got, some great problems to have, dog. I think the tight end room is going to be a low-key room, right? A sleeper, right? I really believe in Zach Atkins. I really, really believe in his game, dog. He has some things that you definitely need at that tight end position. He's got some tools, man, for sure, dog. I really believe in Zach Atkins without question, man. And, obviously on the defensive line, right? That's another talented group where we can rotate guys in and, you're going to see, 8 to 10 guys play. Right, and we're gonna rotate guys on that defensive line because we have the ability to do so. We have the talent, we have the numbers, and those guys are gonna be able to get after it and make plays, man. So it's gonna be a fun team to watch moving forward. Obviously, we all enjoy what we had with the era with, Shedeur, Trav, Shiloh. We all enjoyed that era, right? Jimmy, LeJohn. That was a fun era. That was a fun time, fun season, right? But now it's time to, turn the page and look forward to this 2025 campaign. And I can't wait to see our guys continue to ball out without question, man. It's going to be fun to watch these guys, dog. And obviously it starts right now, right? The grind starts right now. These guys are putting in some phenomenal work. Can't forget the running back position, right? Can't forget that position, dog. Who starts at running back, right? Michael Welch, right? Dylan Hayden, right? We got a track hawk in with, DeKalen Taylor coming in, right? The speedster that we brought in, right, out of Incarnate Word. I mean, it's going to be fun to see who starts at running back. Like I said, I'm going to release the projected starters video, offense and defense as well. We all know that I bring that every year. So I'm not going to leak too many of who I expect that's going to start yet, right? But it's all opinion-based. It's my opinion, man. But a lot of times I've been right. And, it's just fun for me to be able to do that for you guys. That's just something that's just fun for me to do. So, yeah, I'm going to definitely bring that, to you guys as well, right? The linebacker position, right? We're all expecting, of course, Martavius French, right? The transfer out of UTSA, right? Had a ton of tackles for loss last season. Then, obviously, Reginald Hughes, who's another physical, fiery linebacker that can really make plays coming out of Jacksonville State. I mean, it's just a really, really good time, for our Colorado football program. Like I said, competition is through the roof across the board, and it's going to be fun to watch these guys compete during the summer. And then, once we get to fall camp, guys competing in the fall, and then obviously we're going to roll into, right? We're going to roll into that Colorado football season, man. And, obviously we're going to be right here on Bird's Eye View with it. We do have some news as far as our academics, right? We all know that academics is very important. Shout out to our guys having the highest GPA for a spring semester in school's history. Had a 2.9 GPA this past spring. That was actually the second highest overall GPA, regardless spring or fall, right? Behind last season, right? Last fall, we had that over 3.0 GPA, which was the highest in school's history. So that's back-to-back semesters, dog, when you're looking at the two highest GPA semesters in Colorado history. That speaks volume, bro. That's student athletes, man. Obviously, we know student comes first, right? We know all these guys aren't going pro, so the academic part is extremely important. And I love the fact that, we can say that we're in that Coach Prime era, right? The best academic years has come in Coach Prime's era, spring and fall, man. That's just dope, right? A lot of people are not going to highlight that, but that is extremely important to me. And I think that is something that should definitely be highlighted without question. And I love to see that from our guys. And of course, that's only going to grow and continue to get better as well. As you all know, we have a ton of national televised games again this season. All eyes is going to continue to be on this Colorado football program, which is, rightfully so, right? So, it's going to be great for our guys. It's great exposure for the team, right? It's great exposure for our players, everybody that's involved, man. And, of course, I'm going to be at games this year. I'm expecting to go. I'm likely going to go week 1, of course, Georgia Tech. I'm going to see which games I want to go to. As you all know, I go to like 3 or 4 a year. So I'm going to see which games and pick out which games that I definitely want to go to. I do want to give another huge shout out to our NFL buffs, man. Our guys are definitely turning some heads in camp. As we all know, QB1 Shedeur Sanders, who we all believe should be QB1 in Cleveland. He's taking care of business, regardless of what any says, anybody saying about, the whole entire process, right? We all know what time it is when it comes with QB1. What's understood ain't got to be explained. Travis Hunter is, making an immediate impact like we all expect with the Jacksonville Jaguars on both sides of the ball. And I can't wait to see him ball out and prove a lot of the naysayers wrong who said that he can't do it at a high level on both sides of the ball. I can't wait to see him prove, the naysayers wrong. I mean, he is buzzing in that Jacksonville camp right now on both sides of the football. And, it's no surprise to us, right, who's been following him since Jackson State, since high school. I mean, he's been doing this forever, right? And, of course, LaJohntay Wester, right, he has been turning heads in Baltimore Ravens camp. Same with Jimmy Horn Jr., right? There are two speedsters at wide receiver who are going to make plays in the NFL, dog. They have the one thing that you can't teach, and that's speed. I mean, and also the ability to get open and to not lose speed in and out of their breaks. I mean, it's going to be really, really fun to watch this NFL season. We're going to have NFL buffs scattered across the league, dog. And I'm definitely getting all their jerseys, man. Every last one of them. I need all their jerseys, dog, for real. And I'm going to try to do all I can to at least make it to one game a piece for our guys, man. So, definitely appreciate everything you guys are doing for my channel. I do want to shout out, of course, the DC Defenders for making it to the conference championship. They will play the St. Louis Battlehawks in St. Louis this weekend. So, of course, we're going to be tuned in to that. Got to make it to that UFL championship without question, dog. But not going to keep it long, man. Just want to bring you guys another phenomenal update. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. You know what time it is, dog. Bird's eye view, man.